Hey, what's up YouTube? Lightsaber Samurai here, and I'm back again for another video. And this time I wanted to talk about 5 games in my brother's collection that I want in my collection. And what brought me to this video is recently my brother Aaron of Killer Concepts, if you watch my channel for a while, you've seen him on a video or two. He was actually out of town for active duty in Wyoming and let me house set for him. And after taking a poop in his bathroom and sleeping in his recliner, I got a run of his game room. And while there, I found 5 titles that I would like in my game room. So without further ado, I'm gonna share them with you and just tell me what you think. Okay, so first up on the list is a PSP game, and this is actually Tenchu, was it Time of the Assassins? Yes, Tenchu Time of the Assassins on the PSP. And this game is awesome. It was actually released only in Japan and PAL territories. Luckily for us, the PSP is region free, so this is the European version, and this is the Tenchu 3 experience on the PSP. And this basically takes place after the events of Wrath of Heaven and Fatal Shadows. You can play as Rikimaru, Ayame. Actually, Teshu's storyline is actually a prequel to Wrath of Heaven. It kind of explains how he got hooked up with Zenosuke and became an assassin. Ren's storyline takes place after the events of Tenchu Fatal Shadows. And so, like I said, it's a very excellent game. It plays just like its console big brothers. The only drawback is the draw distance, which actually is kind of veiled in this black fog, and so that actually makes the game a little harder to play. Very similar to the very first game in the series, how it had that poor draw distance. But like I said, the graphics are excellent. I mean, all the stealth kills are there. The stealth kill animations are excellent. Fighting bosses, just kind of fighting outside of in alert mode is actually really nice too. So like I said, if you see this game, if you can get a hold of it, definitely pick this up, as I will be. So next up on our list is on the PSP, and this is actually Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. Now this is a fighting game spin-off based on the Persona 4 franchise, and you play as the cast in that. This is actually a sequel to Persona 4 Arena, which came out on the 360 and the PS3. Actually, I have the 360 version. I'm not going to go into the storyline, because the storyline, as in all Persona games, are batshit insane, but the gameplay is actually very nice. It reminds me a lot of a cross between like BlazBlue and Guilty Gear. And actually, this was developed by Arc System Works, so naturally that's the reason why it looks like that. The animation is crisp. It's got a nice character roster, and I like playing as all my favorites from Persona 4, and I believe there's some characters from Persona 3 in here as well. So that's really cool. And they got the cool, like when they bust out the moves, they put the gun to the head, pull the trigger thing, just crazy dope. But like I said, if you see this game, this one's it's a little bit scarce, at least in my area, but it's only about 20 bucks or so if you can find it. So definitely I'll be playing some more of this. Moving on here, sticking with the PS3 is Twisted Metal on the PS3. Now this was the last game to come out so far in the series that I'm aware of, and Twisted Metal on the PSP was kind of a return to form. It's very similar to Twisted Metal Black on the PS2. It's done by was it? I think it's Incognito is who they called us. Old school single track, who did Twisted Metal 1 and 2, and they also did Black, and so they got back together to do this game. One of the things I wasn't digging is how you didn't have like a crazy roster of characters and each one had their own kind of storyline. It kind of focuses on Mr. Grimm, Darkseid, and Sweet Tooth, but the stories in that, they went back to the full motion video, and they're well shot, they're well directed. It's very much like watching a horror movie, and so it's very dark tone in this. It's a hard game. All of them were kind of hard, but this one in particular I found to be kind of hard. Maybe I'm a little rusty. Been a while since I got on some card combat, but definitely I need to pick this up, and you need to too. Twisted Metal. So, and I'm going through these kind of quick here. This is a quick bonus video I wanted to drop on you guys this week, because it's been a week or so since I talked to you. So anyway, going on to the penultimate game on the list, and that is for the PlayStation 2, and that is Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And you can also get this on the Dreamcast, and the Xbox, the original Xbox. I don't believe there was a GameCube version, but you can definitely Dreamcast, PS2 and Xbox. I like the PS2 version just because I like fighting games using that controller out of all those three options between the Dreamcast, the PS2, and the Xbox. And so, like I said, I mean, what else needs to be said? This is still the best title in the Marvel vs. Capcom series, and it's got the biggest roster. It's something like 50-something characters. Like I said, the 2D animation is still very charming, very nice, and holds up well even today. All the special moves look dope in this, and all the characters and just everything is over the top in this game, just the way I like it. It's fast, it's frenetic, and like I said, it's on the PS2. And so, like I said, this is something that I really want to scoop up for myself. And the final game on the list, now this is for the original PlayStation, and this isn't the greatest game, but it's always something I kind of wanted to have in my collection. He got it a couple of years ago at like 20 bucks, and now it's shot up to like $50, so I'm gonna have to probably just spend the money on that, and that is Ehrgeiz God Bless the Ring. And mainly it's just nostalgia, as I owned this game years and years ago. This is right after Final Fantasy VII dropped, and Final Fantasy VII was popping, and you actually got something like 6 characters from the game you can play, and this is all playable characters, and that's boosted up from 3 that actually this game originally came out in the arcade. And so you can play as Cloud, Tifa, and Sephiroth in the arcade version. They have those 3 here, plus you can play as Zack, Tifa, and Zack, Red 13, and Yuffie, I think. And so, like I said, this is a full motion like 3D game. Kind of plays very similar to Power Stone or Bushido Blade or Battle Arena Toshinden, whereas like a lot of wrestling games, how you just kind of move around in a 3D space and you're not forced to face each other all the time. It has kind of multi-layer environments. You can kind of go up a level, go down a level, similar to how Power Stone battle arenas are laid out. And it's just a really cool game. Like I said, it also comes with its own quest mode. And in the quest mode, it's you play as like an archaeologist, basically an action RPG dungeon crawl. And so, like I said, there's quite a bit packed on this disc, and you definitely get your bang for your buck here. It's a decent roster of characters, especially for fighting games of this era, where at the time most, in the mid-90s, like 96, 97, they're kind of packing like 10 characters or less. And so, like I said, this is right around 16 or so get a decent amount of variety, and all the characters are fun to play as. And so, like I said, it's just a blast to play this game and a blast to own it, and this is something I'd like to have. So that's gonna do it for the 5 games. And Aaron, if you're watching, I may give these back if I'm feeling generous. If not, like I said, for you all at home, most of those games can be had fairly cheaply. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and Ehrgeiz at the time of this video is going to cost you about 50-ish bucks or so. So, you might get lucky at a garage sale. Otherwise, you'll have to bite the bullet online, or you can pick up cheap copies like I did. So I want to just give a shout out to Aaron at Killer Concepts. You can watch his channel on YouTube. He mostly does gun reviews as he's in the military, but he's got a soft spot for video games. Also got some video game stuff on there, pretty cool, so check that out. And like I said, I am Lightsaber Samurai. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and until next time.